Well, let me ask you a question. How do you experience the world? Is it getting more stable or more volatile? And how about your business? And even your personal work, getting more stable over the years or getting more volatile? So I recall one of my employees at Festo asking me, well, Thilo, tell me, when is this going to stop that things keep constantly changing? Well, it's not going to stop. It's going to increase. That's frightening, isn't it? Well, it's not if we learn, first of all, how to cope with it, and even better, how to draw advantages from that. So how can we do that? There's just one way. In volatile conditions and unpredictable surroundings, we have to be quickly adaptive and constantly innovative. So, and therefore, management must focus on increasing this ability to adapt and constantly innovate, and finally, enable a culture of continuous improvement. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, let's make one thing clear. We cannot create or make a culture, because culture is an outcome. So then, what do we do? Well, we have to focus on behaviors. Here's an example. If I come here today with a shirt and a scarf from my favorite soccer team and some colorful painting on my face, you would have been kind of bewildered, wouldn't you? Well, if I do the same, exactly the same, on Saturday in the stadium, I hardly even stick out. So what makes the difference? In the stadium, there is a common behavior amongst all the individuals that are present. So let's understand culture in the following way. Culture is the sum of common behaviors within a group of individuals. So if we want to change this, we first of all have to understand which behaviors do we have today that need to be changed, and which are our desired behaviors we want established in the organization. So, and by the way, this is why most of cultural journeys and empowerment programs don't work. Because first of all, they don't analyze which are the behaviors we have today, and they don't describe exactly which are the behaviors we desire for tomorrow. They just make a lot of wind. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to precisely describe the desired behaviors we want, code them into behavior patterns, and then train them consistent and persistently until they become a habit. So how can we do that? Well, the question is, what actually influences behaviors and behavior patterns in an organization? And there's just one answer, and it's management patterns. So how is that? Let's make a little test about that. If you can move back a little bit on your chairs from your table so that you can swing your right leg counterclockwise, please. Counterclockwise. Circle it counterclockwise. Like that. Well, you can do it seated. I have to do it standing, so it's a little bit harder for me. So counterclockwise. Keep doing it. So this is one of the team members working in the factory, right? Just circle, circle. And here comes the manager. Take your right hand up in the air. Keep circling. And please draw a 3. What happened to your leg? Starts turning around the other way, right? But don't worry, I didn't mess up your leg. If you write a 6 into the air, it goes back the other way. So now imagine, management comes and today says 3, tomorrow 6. What will happen to the team? This. Or imagine, middle management says 3. Top management says 23. What will happen? Go like this. So what we need is, we need corresponding management patterns corresponding to the desired behavior patterns, and we have to consistently practice them on all levels. And this will enable us that desired behavior patterns finally become a habit. So, but there's a danger. We cannot implement thousands of behavior patterns. So what we do is we decide which are the crucial and vital behaviors, practice them as management patterns, and this will, day by day, stepwise, change the habits in the organization and finally enable a different culture. So the question is, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we have to decide which are the vital behaviors, because we cannot train thousands of them. It's like in public transport and traffic. We don't teach our kids all the rules and regulations. We just train them the vital ones. That doesn't mean all the regulations are not useful. You can just not remember and train them. So for example, what do we train our kids as a vital behavior for walking through public traffic? Well, for example, one vital behavior is, how do you cross a street? Focus on vital behaviors. And how do you train vital behaviors? Well, you have to reduce them into a simple routine. So what's the routine for crossing the street? At least here in Germany. Look left, right, left. Okay? This is the training routine. So the second step after identifying your vital behaviors is you have to code them into a training routine. Reduce them to an easy-to-train set of steps. And this is what we call a kata. So you code the desired behaviors into a kata. So here's my recipe, how to enable cultural change. Step 1, identify the existing common behaviors that need to be changed. Secondly, describe the desired vital behaviors precisely and code them into a kata, and then establish the correspondent management patterns to turn the vital behaviors into habits.